let's talk a bit about my journey and for you to understand that you can be a content creator even if you don't have a marketing degree. Don't need to worry about that, and I'm going to tell you why. So, I started my journey as a professional. Actually, I'm a law graduate, so right off the bat, I'm going to say I'm a law graduate. I took longer than I should to get my degree in law, and I went then to Macao for an international internship program to work at a company for 8 months, and I was working for a lawyer's office. Of course, with a law degree, they were expecting me to be really good at law, but the thing is, and I will admit this, I sucked completely at law. The only things that I know is work law and company law, and beyond that, I really suck at everything else. So I was not useful. And from the start, my boss was seeing me and thinking, maybe. My boss at that time, and she ended up becoming my mentor when it comes to business life, creating your own business, being a leader, teaching others, and negotiating. She taught me everything that I know about managing a company and becoming a leader or being a leader. At the time, I joined the company, and this was a lawyer's office. They were expecting me to be good at law, or at least to help in some things, but I noticed the description of my internship, and it said marketing and brand recognition for the lawyer's office, as well as using or basically being a paralegal. And I was looking at that and thinking, marketing, but I didn't apply with marketing. I don't have any experience with marketing whatsoever. I only said that I create content for my website, The Hand That Feeds HQ, but it's a website about Japanese voice actors and 2D music, which by now you may be thinking, what the hell is that? But I can understand you, because this is really, really niche topic. So don't worry. You're not alone in not knowing what I'm talking about. So yeah, I had a website about that. But my experience with marketing was only that. I don't have a degree in marketing. I didn't have at that time a specialization in anything when it came to marketing. But the description of the internship said marketing. Okay. I will try to help with social media. I don't know. So I was going there for the internship to actually do social media content for a law firm. Me, a law graduate, trying to work in law. I was not understanding the description of that job. Really, I wasn't. And I told my boss at that time, I don't understand why I'm doing social media content, but when I ended up joining this internship as a law graduate to work at a law firm. So I was expecting law work. I actually got my comeuppance because I asked for law work, and I was given several cases of family law, and they were messed up as hell. And I worked with some petitions. I went to the court, and I did a couple of things when I worked there. I helped the lawyers in the company. I was suffering from a lot of anxiety with that. I started to realize that law for me, and especially given my path in university and having teachers making fun of me for missing things or for not knowing things, when they should be encouraging people to study and to learn and be basically understanding with people that if they don't get it, they need to be explained in a different way. I missed a lot of that during my path in university, so I ended up becoming quite anxious when it comes to law. And my boss started to notice that, and she called me on the side and said, well, Vanessa, I'll be blunt with you. You suck at law. You shouldn't be even working at law. You are suffering from anxiety whenever you pick the civil code. And this is not good. This is not good. I don't know what happened to you. I don't know what is the trauma, but you are not cut out to work in law, and you don't have that profile. You are not ever going to make it as a law professional. So stop while you can, because you are wasting your time. What is your passion? And this question that actually followed. I was thinking, well, she's going to trash me completely and say, well, you suck, then the internship is over. Because it was one of the clauses in that internship contract. When she said, you suck, but what do you like to do? What is your passion? That made a whole lot of difference, because I was expecting to be trashed, and actually I got understanding. The person on the other end wanted to actually help me find a way, and that made a massive difference. I said that I like creating content, and I actually understand a bit of marketing, but I never studied marketing, and I don't want to study because I suck at everything that is related to maths. But she said, well, you can start here, and you will, during the full internship, do marketing work. You will still help me as a paralegal, bringing things to the court and helping with printing stuff, talking with the clients, but you will not engage in basically law work, to not stress you out. This was amazing. This is something that when this was told to me in that conversation, I felt that, yeah, this person, for starters, this is a leader. This is what a leader should do. You suck, but I'm trying to find a way to help you. And I'm going to be blunt with you for you to not waste time. So if you are open to feedback, and the person is being blunt with you, being really honest and trying to actually help you, welcome it, because I welcomed it, and look at where I am right now. I've worked for some of the biggest companies in the world, creating content for them. I don't have any degree in marketing whatsoever. It only started with, Vanessa, what are you actually good at? Because you suck at law. And that was an amazing start for something that now is a really interesting and fascinating journey. And it was through law that I actually got into marketing professionally. So it all came full circle, and I learned so much when I was in Macao. It might have been one of the most amazing experiences I had in my life, and it helped me shape into who I am right now, not only as a professional, but also as a leader, as well as a business owner and entrepreneur. That made a whole lot of difference, to shadow someone that was willing to be my mentor, and that was willing to teach me the most, and to see me failing and tell me why I failed, and then help me not failing again. It made a big difference. So that's where I started. So I was initially going to work at a lawyer's office, and then I ended up working in marketing for them. I worked for a couple of years, and then after that, I started to take my own jump into marketing really seriously. So I worked at a digital marketing agency. Soon after, I was poached by one of the biggest HR companies in the world, Randstad, and then I was poached again for a startup in the tech industry, which is Hire, which were my former employers. So I have worked with a little bit of everything, and especially when I worked at a digital agency, I worked with so many brands and so many companies, amazing companies worldwide. So it was quite interesting to get that experience. But as I can tell you, and I said that in the beginning of the video, you can actually work in marketing without a degree in marketing. At least if you are not working in marketing comms, because in that case you need a degree in marketing comms. But if you are creating content, you are managing social media, as long as you know how to do that, and you have done that prior to a brand you created, or a project you created, or for a friend, or for a bakery in your street, or whatever, if you do that, and you start creating your portfolio even before you start working in that business, or even before you go to college, or even before whatever, start doing that as soon as possible, to create not only your portfolio, but also to try new things, learn new things, create, and to make mistakes, because you are going to make a lot of mistakes. I still do make lots of mistakes all the time. So it is expected for you, if you are learning or doing something new, you are going to make mistakes. If you are working with a new client, you will make mistakes in the beginning. It's all part of the process. So be open to making those mistakes, but be also open to learning basically from those mistakes, because if you don't learn from those mistakes, they are a reflection of who you are as a professional. If you don't learn from doing things badly, you will never learn anything. So that's my advice in there. So when it comes to working in marketing, I would say try and start to create your things, create your content, create your blog, If you want to specialize in writing blog articles for brands, start your own blog. Start writing for yourself. Create a Substack. Do that. If you want to actually create video edits for companies, start creating your own videos, edit those videos, or basically start selling or offering your services for free to friends, for example, or for small businesses in your street or in your city, to actually start to get that experience. Start to create your portfolio before you even dive into working in marketing, because it helps a lot. I already had that work, and the reason why that digital marketing agency hired me, not only because I was not asking for a lot of money, I was desperate for a job, and they didn't want to pay a lot of money, so they wanted someone that was desperate for the job, so we were a match made in heaven or hell. But if you have that experience from the background, when I said I have a website, and the website has 4 million people, or at least 4 million people have visited it so far at the moment that I had the interview, and they were, wow, this is impressive. And they saw the bylines, and they noticed that I wrote all the 8,000 articles in that website, from all types of articles, from long features to list features to op-eds to biographies to music reviews. And I then basically distributed the content on social media, and I was managing a Twitter account, I was managing Pinterest, I was managing everything. So I created a project by myself, and I was sharing the content by myself. So I was learning everything else. When it came to talking about, well, we need a content creator and social media manager, I applied, and they saw that I already had that experience. Even if I was doing that for fun, for a hobby, that's experience, and they valued the experience. I will say something, that having had the experience with companies or big corporations and agencies are more prone to let someone that is just starting out in marketing to join them, because you will be learning a lot really fast-paced with them. But corporations are expecting that you have already either a degree or you have a lot of experience, because they don't want to teach you, and usually they don't have anyone to teach you. You will always, and I tend to say this, when you join a corporation or a startup, you are usually the smartest person in the room. You are not going to learn anything from anyone. But if you go to an agency, you are not the smartest person in the room. You will be learning from everyone every day, and that's amazing as an experience. But if you want something, and then if you have a lot of experience and you want something more stable, a corporation is an option. But you will be the smartest person in the room. People will be amazed with the most basic things that you know. I noticed that when I was at Randstad, and I noticed that when I was with my previous employer as well. So basic stuff that people can actually learn really quickly, it was impressing people. But when I was at an agency and I told those basic things, people were like, yeah, you already know. But do you know this really complex stuff that we know? And then I was the dumbest person in the room, but I was so happy of being like that, because I had people to teach me, and people willing to basically teach me those things in depth without saying, go search online. So that makes a massive difference. So yeah. This was basically a recap or a summary of my professional journey, and telling you as well that you can work as a content creator professionally and work in marketing professionally without a marketing degree. You don't need that degree. Of course, if you want to actually, I don't know, apply to massive brands, or if there is really a company that you really love and they are really focused on the person has or needs to have that degree, then you have to take that degree. But if it is something that says preferably, try to get your experience elsewhere. Don't go to, and this will sound like a bad advice, but in this case, if you want to be a content creator, you need to have hands-on experience. You will not have hands-on experience, at least in a traditional degree, marketing degree. Maybe in a professional degree, there are some. You may get that in a workshop. You will get that for sure. Boot camps, you also will get that. But in a university, I doubt that you will have so much creativity to use, because they will, of course, shorten that creativity to fit in with what they want to teach. So I will advise you in this case, if you are short on money and you cannot go to university or college and you want to be a content creator or work in marketing, especially creating content or being a social media manager, try to start creating your content or managing social media for someone or for your own projects. That's a really good start, and the more you do, the more reps you add to that, the more chances you have to impress someone when you are in an interview, because they will say, well, you don't have the marketing degree, but, and you will add basically, but I have this portfolio in which I created these blog articles in this style, and I created these blog articles in that style, and I wrote biographies in this style, and I did reviews in that style, or I edited short and long form videos, and some of the short videos were with massive edits to retention, to focus on retention. On the other edits were more focused on actually being all about education. So you could have and showcase your skills without having a big worry about you need to have a degree. You can take a degree and you can get that degree that you want to, if you want to, and you have the money to pay for. But if you are short on money, I would advise you to actually start being hands-on with what you want to do. If you want to create content, start creating content. If you want to write, start writing. If you want to manage social media, start managing social media. Create your own social media, manage meme pages or whatever. Do something. That's how you get started in this industry without having a marketing degree. My experience is a good example of that. It is a lot of hard work, because when I was hired to work at an agency, I already had 10 years or 9 years of work on my blog creating content and also managing social media. So you need to create and start doing as soon as possible. Don't wait for a perfect time. Start creating, because for me it took nine years to actually be taken seriously as a content creator and social media manager, and it took me 12 years to get my first big corporation work, or 12, or I should say 11, to work at a big corporation. So it is something that takes time, but start creating. Right now you have all the tools, you have all the platforms, and you have some platforms that actually reward you for being consistent and for appearing, and others that reward you for being the craziest you can be with your edits. And there are so many newsletter platforms in which you can start writing your stories or writing your content or having a regular newsletter about the topic that you love, and you start writing and you start improving as a content creator and a writer. So there are a lot of tools, a lot of possibilities, and you can actually start working in content creation and social media management without a marketing degree. I hope this episode or this video was useful to you. If you have any questions, leave those in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.